Well, boy, Disney did it once again. They decided to do their remake, the whole Peter Pan and Wendy thing, and I decided to watch it. So let me do a review for it, because I care about you guys. So I watched this, I put myself through that pressure to watch it, and oh my God, there is no other way to describe this movie other than absolutely freaking terrible. They took everything that was fantastic about Peter Pan, magical about Neverland, great about everything, and just flushed it down the toilet along with all their morals and values and cares. Absolute and utter shit. This movie may as well have been just it is just about Wendy and a bunch of other shit that nobody cares about. We have race swapped Peter Pan, who basically is less than a side character in his own movie. That's it. Less than a side character in his own movie. I mean, from the very start of this movie, literally from the very start of this movie, they told you exactly what they were going to do. Because when it started off, you were seeing some pictures in the Darling's house, because, Wendy Darling, all them pictures in the house. And the pictures and them were showing pictures of Wendy, a family, kind of thing. And when you see these pictures, Wendy and her mother are brightly highlighted in the pictures. But the men, her brothers, everything else is just dull. Every picture of Wendy, brightly highlighted. Pictures of her with her family, the mother is also brightly highlighted. The father and brothers, dull as hell. Because they are of no importance to anything. The crap starts off with Wendy. Apparently, this is her last night before she goes to boarding school, and she doesn't want to go, and she's all rebellious and this and that and talking. Nobody gives a flying crap about any of this. But oh God, and this movie was so boring. I had to start and stop this movie several times just to get through it, and tell you how boring it was. So when they finally in their room, they know race swapped Peter Pan shows up for some unknown reason. I don't know why. Apparently, he shows up and he's chasing a shadow. How did the shadow get in the house? We don't know, but we find out a reason for it after. We don't know. So whatever he decides that he's going to take them to Neverland, and and then we see race swap Tinkerbell, and I'm telling you, it doesn't matter how much you try to pretend. It doesn't matter how much you hope this is going to get over. At no point when you look at this black Tinkerbell do you ever think Tinkerbell. No point in it. And since they love representation and all kind of things so much, Tinkerbell never even spoke in this movie. I think, towards the end, she had about 3 or 4 words. She said, that was it. But she never spoke. That's how you represent people. Because, even when she tries to just do these certain things like what Tinkerbell did in the movie, the expressions and stuff that you could tell, it never works. It never works. So when it sprinkle pixie dust on them and they get to fly, of course, the boys are struggling, but Wendy is instantly perfect at it. Instantly perfect. She could fly like there's literally no tomorrow. She flies around the place and she is perfectly happy at everything. When they get to Neverland now, you understand me? They get the pirates start attacking them. So we have Captain Hook played by Jude Law. And I was like, okay, when I saw he was going to be playing Captain Hook, I was like, okay, good actor. Looks okay, I don't have a problem with it. Yeah, okay, good. Oh, don't worry, they managed to screw him up too. Absolutely screw him up. After all the shooting with cannons and all kind of nonsense and thing, when he washes up on shore and she encounters the lost boys who now have girls in them. Oh, and Captain Hook's pirate ship that had all the Captain Hook pirate ship that had all the different that are only pirates I think on it. But now the pirates apparently have females in it as well, because as far as I was aware that Captain Hook's original crew was all men, but whatever. So we get to the Lost Boys, and then of course we meet Tiger Lily. We meet Tiger Lily, and now This is what happens when you're an idiot, trying to think that, you can use some sort of cultural appropriation when it doesn't actually work. Because the person who's playing Tiger Lily, apparently she is some Native American lineage and thing, and she's speaking the Cree language. Now, here's the problem with it. She says what she has to say in Native American Cree language, but nobody understands her, and then she literally has to say the exact same thing again in English. It's a complete and utter waste of time, and they're just doing these things because they're just doing these things because they need to say, well, hey, you know what, let's just tick this box even though it makes no freaking sense to the actual story. Okay, no problem, that's what you want to do. All right. So, when they put this together now, you see the way that it actually starts to crumble quite quickly. You understand me? Because the star of this show is Wendy. She's pretty much fantastic at everything, brave, all of that. Tiger Lily, same thing. Now let me get the Captain Hook before now. Now, no longer is Captain Hook the brave, Captain Hook, the evil, disturbed individual who wants to murder Peter Pan because he hates that little flying imp who cut his hand off and all that. Now, don't get me wrong. Peter Pan did cut his hand off and the crocodile did eat it, okay. But in this version, apparently, Hook, whose name is James, well his name is actually James, James was Peter's first lost boy, and he brought him to Neverland years ago. However, when James started to miss his mother, Peter basically banished him from Neverland and sent him out on a rowboat in the middle of the ocean to God alone knows where he almost died, and then the pirates picked him up and raised him. Right? So, and now he hates Peter because he denied him the ability to go back and see his parents and that he was his friend and he betrayed him, because we can't just have villains anymore. No, we can't have that. Captain Hook is no longer a villain, he's just misunderstood. And you need to take some time to understand him better. And Peter Pan is no longer the brave, heroic imp that flies around Neverland. No. He's now some kind of emotionally disturbed sycophant who, if you don't want to play with him, he's going to banish you out in the ocean to die. That's what happens. And speaking of that, we also get to find out that, Peter was bringing Wendy to the Lost Boys because she tells stories and he wanted him to tell something. So apparently Peter has spent the last who knows how long spying on Wendy like some weird little cream, waiting to kidnap her and bring her to Neverland. Yeah, that's common sense. That's really, really common sense. It all eventually goes back to some nonsense where Hook eventually finds the Lost Boys place. He ends up attacking Peter and kind of kills him. Then they capture Tinkerbell and the rest of them and go. Tiger Lily is no longer, Tiger Lily is still a Native American, so she's no longer a Native American princess as far as I am aware, who's in love with Peter and that kind of stuff. No. When she senses Peter has been killed or hurt or whatever, she refers to him as little brother because she's older than him and much better than anything else. So she goes and saves him they capture Tinkerbell. Peter Pan can't fly anymore, all this nonsense. And when they decide to have Wendy and the rest of them walk the plank, Wendy walks the plank, jumps off, Tinkerbell goes there and gives her the fairy dust and floats the ship. So I'll tell you, at one point in this movie, Tinkerbell literally became Wendy's fairy. Not Peter Pan, Wendy's fairy. Because this whole thing is about Wendy. When we get to the fight on the ship now, understand me, Wendy is much better at sword fighting than Peter Pan ever was. No formal training or anything yet. She's fighting off the pirates and stuff. Right. Tiger Lily jumps on board to help, and she's wielding one with a tomahawk and a blade, and she's also much better at fighting than Peter Pan ever was. I'm not saying that, Tiger Lily couldn't know how to fight, but you're literally rubbing it in the face of everybody that, these two women are absolutely perfect And Peter Pan is just a waste of licking space. That's it. That's an absolute and utter waste of space. The other lost boys slash girls slash whatever the hell mess it is make no impact in this movie whatsoever. They just kind of hang around because they're there. You understand me? Same thing with Wendy's brothers, Michael and John. They just kind of there. That's it. They can't really figure out what it is they're doing, whatever. No. And then you know how it is. Peter Pan in the original animated movie, Peter Pan was the only one who could have understood what Tinkerbell was saying. Well, no, in this movie, he can't understand a damn thing of what she's saying. He just interprets whatever he wants to hear because, you know, he's a narcissistic little creep who doesn't care about anybody but himself. But who does eventually end up hearing what it is race swap Tinkerbell has to say at the end? Wendy, because like I said, Wendy literally becomes Tinkerbell's, well, should I say Tinkerbell literally becomes Wendy's fairy. That's what it is. When they do go back to London on the flying pirate ship, they go back to London after having defeated all of them, because once again, you know, like I said, the women are fantastic. Captain Hook is no longer of any interest to anything. I mean, even at the end, you know, Peter's all, well, I'm sorry I banished you, I shouldn't have done that, we were friends, I'm like, what gives a shit about any of this at this point? Why are you telling people these things? So anyway, when they go back to the London now, the lost boys slash girls are all inside Wendy's house and all that stuff. And we get to find out that Wendy's house was where Peter used to live. Years ago, whatever, big shocker. Apparently, his mother scolded him for something he did. So he ran to his room, met Tinkerbell, and decided, you know what, screw the old bag. I'm going to go to Neverland, where I never grew up, and just continue to be an absolute and utter waste of space. That's the whole nonsense of it. So then, at the end, now the ship starts to float away. Peter goes back onto it. Tinkerbell goes with him. I think the lost boys, when I think they stayed or something. I don't really care, to be honest with you. And then they go back to Neverland and meet Hook and Shmi, and that's what happened. It's amazing how badly this movie was. It's literally amazing how badly this movie was. They actually went out of their way to take everything that made Peter Pan such an interesting character, such an interesting movie, everything that good about it, everything that made Peter this kind of swashbuckling rebel who all the girls liked and stuff, and you know, the reason for Wendy being there, the reason for the Lost Boys, the reason for Captain Hook, all of it, they just pissed it down the toilet and then acted like, you know, you're supposed to love this garbage that we're giving you because it's so modern and updated. It's crap. It's literally garbage. I tell you, the movie is boring. It's nonsensical. It makes no sense, and they keep putting it out there. They keep doing this that make you wonder why in God's name these people are determined to destroy themselves. If this is what they do with Peter Pan and Wendy, I can't wait for the absolute crap fest that is going to be the Little Mermaid, because they're going out of their way to make you hate that movie, and this is what they keep putting out there. This movie was terrible. There's no other way to put it. It was absolutely terrible. There are other parts in it and that happened on the other that I didn't bother to cover because it makes no sense. It is of no importance to anybody. None whatsoever. My final rating for Peter Pan and Wendy, I give this movie half a mark out of 5. It's not even deserving of a 1. Literally, it's not even deserving of a 1. The CGI looks terrible. When they're flying, it looks worse than anything you can imagine, and it's really being held up by wires. There's no actual movement that makes it look interesting. The cinematography is terrible. The colors, I think, don't look good. It's just ridiculously dark and creepy and grey for some reason. There's no magic left in Neverland because they've just destroyed it all. That's it for me. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, try to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. You're notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.